Everybody has that one kid that's kind of a loner, and not in the Pee Wee Herman sense of the word.
You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Daddy. A rebel.
Like 3 of you were old enough to get that joke. But anyway, we're talking about is kids that roam the halls alone, that eat lunch alone, that don't seem to be able to fit in with anybody else. And when you make that choice consciously, I guess there's something to it. Like maybe you're just not like a people person or you're super introverted or whatever. But if it's not a conscious choice, if it's just a byproduct of like your personality or your awkwardness or whatever, today I want to talk about a few ways that I have been able to connect those students to other kids and help them make friends and not feel invisible and alone. That's what we're going to talk about today. So as teachers, sometimes we notice these kids right away. Sometimes you have to seek them out. And I think it was the first time I saw a kid was eating alone and I invited them to my classroom to come and eat with me and with the kids that are in there. And that's when I saw this sort of transformation that happened with this kid. He was actually eating alone in the lunchroom behind wrestling mats because it was more hidden that way. And that is just, it's heartbreaking. I know I was that kid, and I talk about this story in my book, but like I was that kid my freshman year that didn't know where to sit. And so this far into the school year, if students are still having these problems, I just think that it's something that can be addressed. It's something that you can do something about and your students can help you with. And so let's just jump into it. So the first idea there is to create a search party. You're gonna go in search of kids that are lonely, that are sitting by themselves, that don't have anybody else to sit with, and just put the offer out there. And, you know, maybe sitting with a kid in lunch for a few minutes, maybe talking to them in the hallway and calling them over to you, maybe inviting them to your classroom for extra tutoring, for extra help, to talk about something after school. It's inviting kids in to your awesome. Sometimes you can let kids, the class, know, hey, everybody, if you want to eat with me at lunch, you can come up. But it's the personal invitation, because a lot of times kids that are feeling unconfident, that are feeling like an outsider, they think you're talking to everybody else except for them. They need the personal invitation. And then we're going to get to this in a moment, but like, well, actually, I guess we'll just get to it now. When you start creating this culture in your classroom of kids that are looking to be inclusive, it excites them to bring somebody new in. You start sending them out and looking for other students. They're going to go on the search party. I'll be eating lunch with dudes and I'm like, yo, run down to the lunchroom real quick, make sure nobody's by themselves. And if they are, give them the invite. And they're like,
got you, Reynolds.
They go downstairs, they start looking around for other students, and then they bring them back to our classroom. The next thing is, again, empowering students to, if you know a student, someone starts eating in your room during lunch, but you know that they're not really still connecting with people. One of the ways to just help them feel seen is to call somebody over and say, hey, look, this kid over here, this is Michael. Michael he's not getting down with anybody right now. Can you all talk to him in the hallway or just say hi? I just want you to say, what's up, Mike, when you see him in the hallway.
Got you, Reynolds, we got you.
Now you're empowering students by giving them something to do to be able to acknowledge someone. You're having someone become acknowledged, and then that kid all of a sudden has these older guys or girls that are acknowledging their existence, and that goes so far. It's not about being their friend. It's not about talking to them. It's not taking it that far, right? Because that can be even more awkward and horrible for someone. It's just acknowledging their existence and letting them know that they're seen and that they matter. The next thing is sometimes you're the one that they want to connect with, that you're the one they want to be near because they feel safer with you than going and sitting with kids. So let kids be around you, right? And there's, of course, boundaries that you have to create within that and all that kind of stuff. But like, and that's probably another video, but it is letting kids be around you. It's then learning about this student. And then it's keeping up your teacher antennas, you know, the things. Why? Because you're waiting for this kid to say that they are into something, right? They're into Green Day or horseback riding or monster trucks or WWE. Doesn't even have to be something that you know about. Then you're going to be thinking, oh, do I know anybody else that's into this? And when you find that they mention something that you heard somebody else mention, you're going to invite student number 2 in. So talking to Kyle, and Kyle tells me that he loves WWE, and I know that Taj, you gotta come here for a second, bro. You're not even going to believe what Kyle just told.
What? What did he tell you, Mr. Reynolds?
Kyle is super into WWE.
No way, Kyle, I know you're super into WWE. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Then next thing you know, they're nerding out over WWE, something I don't even know anything about. And I gently move away and disappear into the background. like when Homer Simpson went into that bush. And the last thing is try to create, to the best of your ability, shared experiences that you can invite that student into, or have a number of awkward, lonely, or just introverted kids be a part of something, right? We're going to create something to invite them into. So I've done this in any number of ways in my school, where I've had a YouTube club at one time where all different kids with YouTube channels, I would teach them how to grow their channel, how to edit better, and all these sorts of things. I had a maker like this bootleg maker space one time where we just used to make stuff with like the least amount of supplies ever because our school was poor, but that gave kids a place to connect. I had a school store where we had all different kinds of kids coming in and helping in the school store. Lunch is a great one if you can pull off lunch or breakfast in your classroom, and school trips. And so here's what happens. Running any of those things, inevitably something is going to happen in there. And when those students have a shared experience, when they go on a trip and have a shared experience that was incredible, when they're making something and it worked or it didn't work, or it is creating moments with students that they now share, and that is what bonds them together. So they don't even have to get down over the same bands, the same sports, the same extracurricular activities. It's because they shared the experience of that one time we went to New York, or the one time we went to the History Museum and this funny thing happened, and they share that experience, and it's something nobody else knows about. And what you've done there is create a connection point. Now, there's 100 other ways you can do this. I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment about what is a way that you connect unconnected students. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other stuff, and we'll see you next time, gang. Peace.